You know how you inherit things from like grandparents and stuff? Well, we inherited this 100-year-old popcorn bowl. I don't know how old this actually is. You see how big it is? It's huge. Okay, but it is Tupperware. And this thing, my husband remembers eating popcorn out of this with his grandma when he was like a teeny tiny wee little lad. And for whatever reason, we inherited this. And it's amazing. My kids, my husband, they eat popcorn out of this bowl on the regular. But today, we're going to use it as like a mixing bowl. We're going to put some things in here and we're going to mix up and make the perfect thumbnail photo. Before we break down the ingredients, I need to tell you why thumbnails are so important, because I think this is something that so many people look over but also ignore the advice on, and I need you to understand how freaking important thumbnails are, okay? Let me put this bowl down. There is a metric that YouTube measures that is in all of our analytics, okay? It is called the CTR. CTR stands for click-through rate, okay? And the click-through rate basically means out of the people who had the opportunity to click on your videos, like the people who saw your videos on their homepage or subscription page or whatever, of those people, what percentage of them actually clicked on the video? So the only two things that are at play with click-through rate or CTR are your thumbnail and your title. And this is one of the most important metrics. This is one of the most important analytics that you need to pay attention to, because if nobody's clicking on your video, we can't get to all of the other analytics. We can't get to watch time. We can't get to comments or engagement. We can't get to, you know, a breakdown of who the people were that watched the video. Like if nobody's clicking on the video, nothing else matters. So CTR is a really freaking important part of the puzzle. And it only has two pieces, your thumbnail and your title. And those two things work together to help increase or decrease your CTR. So for every video, you need to think about, how can my thumbnail and my title work together to make people click on my video? How can these two things come together to make people click? And they both need the three ingredients that I'm going to tell you about in just a second. But the part of this that so many people miss is that people will just take a screenshot or a still shot or whatever from their video. And now listen, I've done that before. I actually recently just did that in a vlog I did. So like, you know, you can do that sometimes, but people will just take like a screenshot of, you know, a scene in the actual video and just either put no words on it, put no context, or even put like reiterate the words that the title say. And that is not what you should be doing. Actually, make me a promise. From today on, you will never reiterate the title words in the thumbnail photo. Why? Because one, it's not necessary. And two, you are wasting valuable real estate in your thumbnail, repeating the words that are already in your title that someone is going to see at the same time they see your thumbnail anyway. See, what people, like a huge mistake people make is thinking that for whatever reason, the title of the video also needs to be on the thumbnail, because in our heads, we're designing the thumbnail separately from the title. And so in our heads, we think the thumbnail needs to also say the title, but there is nowhere on YouTube, nowhere on the whole platform, someone will see your title and your thumbnail separately. They're always seen together. So you need to think, how can I make my title and my thumbnail work together to increase my CTR? And that's the ingredients we're gonna put in this 100-year-old popcorn bowl, okay? And specifically for this video, we're talking about thumbnails themselves outside of titles, but I just need you to know how much they work together. So all three of the ingredients should apply to both the thumbnail and the title together, okay? So it might be that one of these ingredients is in the title and the other two are in the thumbnail, or vice versa. All right. Let's get to putting ingredients in this, okay? First ingredient you need is intrigue. Why does Jessica have an old man slipper in her office? I don't know, but it's going in the bowl, okay? Intrigue. Intrigue. Then we have emotion and or personality. Those two things can kind of be interchangeable. Emotion or personality going in the popcorn bowl. Then we have quality. I can't throw this in this bowl because that's a very expensive camera, okay? But the three ingredients we have in here are intrigue, emotion and personality, and quality. And let me just explain each one of these, okay? So first, you have intrigue. Your title and your thumbnail together should create enough intrigue to make someone go, oh my gosh, I have to watch this. And this is the mistake that I see so many people making, because all they do is make their thumbnail and their title really descriptive. They shouldn't be descriptive. They should have intrigue, personality or emotion, and quality. Nowhere in there did I say they should be descriptive. Now, should they be completely separate? Like, should the title and thumbnail not make any sense with the video? No, that's not what I mean. I mean, they should tie together, but your thumbnail and title shouldn't just be like a description of what the video is, okay? They should cause intrigue to make people want to know more. You should use personality to tell them what the video is about, okay? So intrigue, like why? Make them want to click. Make them be curious, okay? Then we have emotion. This is why you see myself and so many other people making like the silly YouTube faces, like the and notice that that isn't done as much anymore unless they're on like sensationalized channels. But you want to in some way show emotion on the thumbnail. And what I like to tell people is you want it to convey the emotion that they're going to feel before or after they watch the video. So before they watch the video, how are they feeling? And then after they watch the video, how are they feeling? And can you take that emotion that they're gonna feel and put it into the thumbnail? And sometimes this part takes a lot of work. Sometimes it takes people a really long time to figure out like what this means, but you will get there if you think about your viewer. And then the third ingredient was quality. Y'all, they have to be good quality photos. They have to be good quality images. I'm sorry, but with the technology that we have these days, with the phones we have in our pockets, with the cameras we have access to, we can no longer get away with crappy granulated webcam Zoom footage, okay? The thumbnails need to be good quality. Basically, the whole formula works together to make the viewer want to click. Make them want to click. Use the thumbnail and the title together to make the viewer want to click. So again, the title may have intrigue where the thumbnail has emotion and quality. Or the title might have intrigue and emotion and the thumbnail has emotion and quality. You can use the title and the thumbnail together to get all three of these ingredients in those two things. Sometimes it needs words on the thumbnail, sometimes it doesn't. And you need to find your style. So sometimes my thumbnail photos, I don't use words. I have emotion and intrigue and quality in the thumbnail, and then I use the title to create even more intrigue into the video. Sometimes I do have words. So for like this video here, I did a video about how I'm not special, and me being able to create a channel that has 200,000 subscribers or create a multiple six-figure business was not something that only I could do, that everybody can do that. And the title is I'm not special, okay? That creates intrigue and emotion. But with the thumbnail, I really had to grab a shot from the video because I didn't take any specific thumbnails for that video because I forgot, and I was on time crunch to get that one out there. So in that video, I'm in my car in one of the scenes. And so I was like, okay, this will actually create intrigue because my videos, I'm normally right here in my office. So I grabbed one of those screenshots. And then I was like, it still needs more. It still needs a little bit more emotion. It needs to pull on the emotion that they're going to feel after they watch this video. So I wrote the words, you can do this too. So those two things together are causing that video to have nearly a 10% CTR, which is very, very high. I want to take you along while I shoot the perfect thumbnail for this video. The video title is going to be the perfect thumbnail. So what can we do with the thumbnail to create intrigue and emotion? Because the quality is a given. I'm going to use this camera or my A7 IV or my phone, look, whatever, right? The quality is going to be good either way. But what can we do with the thumbnail to create intrigue and emotion? Because the title already is creating intrigue and emotion. So let's see if we can like double down on that and create the perfect thumbnail that is going to make people want to click like crazy. And while I'm trying to get this perfect thumbnail, I'm going to show you how I shoot my thumbnails, especially when I'm by myself. I don't have like a photographer following me around. I don't have somebody just like click, 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 click. I would like to say my husband does, but every time I ask him to take a picture, it's horrible. It's terrible. He never does a good job. God love him. But not his gift, okay? So I'm going to show you how I take my thumbnail photos and do it really easily being by myself. We're going to go get the perfect thumbnail for this video. So to get this thumbnail shot, I wanted to go somewhere like super freaking pretty, but it is 31 degrees outside and it's the dead of winter, so everything's kind of ugly. So I put out a post on Facebook last night and I was like, hey, if somebody wanted to get like an epic photo, where would they take it? So I got some suggestions, and one of them was a newer like winery here that's actually just like in town. So I'm gonna go try that out, and hopefully we can get the perfect thumbnail photo. Okay, I found it. Super easy. It was exactly where I thought it was going to be. Okay, so what I'm wanting for this shot is just a picture. I don't want to put any words on it, whatever. That is, when paired with the title, the perfect thumbnail is going to cause people to go, oh my gosh, I have to click on this video, because the thumbnail makes me want to wonder why this is the perfect thumbnail. Like, I need to know the story behind why this is the perfect thumbnail, right? Like, that's what I want. And so I really just want something pretty. Like, it doesn't have to be anything crazy. There's a pond right here I'm sitting in front of. And then there's like an old barn, which is literally called Old Barn Winery, right behind me. So I'm thinking we can get some decent shots. So let's just try. Okay, so I'm out on like the dock for the pond. I don't know if you can tell, but it's like super bright, so that's gonna be a problem. I'm gonna try and get the sun in front of me and shoot like backwards, but it's like the wrong time of day for that. But what I do when I'm shooting my own thumbnail pictures is you need a tripod, which is what my camera is sitting on right now, and then you need to just record video. Now, can you use the remote shutter to like shutter? Yes, absolutely. However, then you're gonna have a phone constantly in your hand the whole time. And for a thumbnail photo, it doesn't need to be like big enough to blow up for your wall, right? So what I like to do is just record video, and I'm like gonna pose or whatever. So I actually may use my other lens, but we're gonna see what's gonna look the best here. The wind is like whipping through here. Like, I had to just hold my camera so it didn't fall over. But I'm gonna try and just like get some shots. So I just take video while I'm shooting like still images, okay? So like while I'm posing, I'm just videoing, okay? Because then I can take the screenshots out of that. And now, by the way, is this the perfect thumbnail photo? No, I am trying to create intrigue. The thumbnail photo I choose with the title is what's going to do that. And I'll show you how I take screenshots and like export these images like when I get back home. Okay, honestly, I don't know that the pond is like my best bet, because what I really need is the sun to be on this side of me to shoot back to the pond for you to be able to see like all the pretty landscape behind it. And it's just not, and I don't have time to sit here and wait for like 12 hours for the sun to move. So we're gonna go, there's like a barn right there. I'm gonna go up there and see if I can get some shots up there too. By the way, it is so freaking cold. Like, this is ice. So cold. I am freezing. You don't have to get like really cold and freeze to death to get the perfect thumbnail photo for your video. Like, it can be in your house, which is what most of mine are, but I just thought it would be fun to show you all of this in a different setting. Okay, so same thing here. I'm just gonna like do my poses while recording this video and then cut them out. I can't see to know what it is. Okay. I have no idea if I was even in front of the barn. I think I was. I mean, I think you could have seen me there. For some reason, my tripod is really loose too, like on this camera. So I'm trying not to knock it over. This view back here is gorgeous. By the way, I'll link to where this winery is, because I mean, there's nobody here letting me do this, but I'll link to them, and so maybe that's payment for me coming out here to do this. I really like that. Okay, let's see. I can't see good. I bet they have security cameras and they're laughing at me for sure. Okay, I think of all the shots I've got, like I really like this. The sun is directly behind my camera, so it's like the best lighting. And then like this scenery is really pretty. So I'm gonna take a few more here at like different angles. All right, I think I've got some shots. I'm actually going, I can't see my screen very well, so I think I'm actually gonna go to the car and just watch this back and make sure I think I got some shots, and then we'll go back home and I'll show you how I export these and make them into the perfect thumbnail. Okay, I think we're good. Let's go back home. All right, we're back home and I have pulled all the footage from this morning into Final Cut Pro. And so what I'm gonna do is I'm going to navigate to the parts of the footage where I was posing. And any shot that I think is worth looking at as possibly being the thumbnail, I'm going to export the still of that. You can do this on any editing platform. You can do it on iMovie, you can do it on Premiere Pro, you can do it in Final Cut Pro, which is what I'm using. You can do it on anything. Or you could just open the footage in something like Preview and take a screenshot, but this is gonna give you a little better quality. So up here on the right in Final Cut Pro, I can just hit that little button and do Save Current Frame. And so what I then do is do like thumb 1 and I save it in the folder for that video. So I'm just gonna go through here and like find all of the pictures that might be decent, or might be things that I want to do, and save them in that folder. I wish the pond photos were better, but the lighting was just like not my friend this morning. Like I say, if I would have actually wanted that as what was behind me or whatever, I would have needed to go at a different time, but I'm gonna go ahead and export those anyway. They're definitely not gonna be what I use, but they'll be nice to have in this video for you to see, like when I'm taking those still shots. I definitely already know which ones are gonna be my favorite, just based on what I saw in camera, right? So, but like I say, I'm just exporting anything that might be what I want. I wouldn't normally take like 10 or 15 or 20 shots from this, but for the purposes of this video, that's really what I wanted. Plus I couldn't see good out there this morning. Like I couldn't see if like the light was working in my favor or not. So I'm trying to just go through everything I've got. And just because I took these for a thumbnail does not mean that I can't use them on something else. So maybe that I want to use these on like a timeline photo or my cover photo for YouTube or something like that. So I'm exporting everything that I might kind of like. Now they're all exported to a folder. So what I do next is take them into Lightroom and apply the look that I want to them. Now, I normally do this on my phone. I normally do this in Lightroom Mobile, but for the purposes of this video, I'm just gonna do it in regular Lightroom here. Look, there's little Ripperoonie. Oh my goodness. Okay, so we're gonna add some photos and we're just gonna grab all of these that I just did. I have a certain style I like for my images. I like to like bring up the contrast. I like to make the blacks pop, all of that. And honestly, I can already just uncheck all of the ones by the pond because I really just don't like them, which there's just a couple. And I can like uncheck that one. I don't care for it. I don't think I like that one. And these I'll leave just to like play with. But so now I'm gonna go ahead and just like add a preset to this. So I have some like user presets that I use on my phone all the time. And there are a couple that are just like usually really close to being what I want. So one of them is seasonal film, which on this may not be best, but we can play with it and see if we can get it there. So I'm gonna go ahead and click it. And we're going to take the amount of that down just a little bit, and then we're gonna just play with this here. So we want the contrast, we want the highlights up, the shadows down, the blacks down. We might actually even take the shadows back up. So we're just gonna, like, I'm just gonna play with this until I get it looking how I want it. I want the sky to be like super cool and pretty and all the things. I'm gonna pull up the saturation of the browns because everything around me is like super, super brown. But see, when I do that, my face is getting more saturated, which I really don't want. So I could do like a mask and only do the background, but I don't really care to do that. So that looks good to me. And then we can switch between before, after, before, after, before, after. Like, that's a really rockin' thumbnail. It's gonna create intrigue when I pair it with the title of the video, the perfect thumbnail photo, because it's going to say, okay, the perfect thumbnail photo. Why is that the perfect thumbnail photo? And then it's going to make people want to click. I could have done a thumbnail like this. I could have sat here in my office and posed and been like, okay, and like grabbed that, okay, we're just gonna grab that, and made that a thumbnail photo, and put like a YouTube button or whatever on the image and said like easy thumbnail tutorial or something to make it more of like a tutorial video, but that's not the feel or the style of the video that I'm going for with this video. So that's basically it. That's how you create the perfect thumbnail. You create intrigue and emotion, and you pair the thumbnail with the title to do those things. So the perfect thumbnail for this video is going to be different for this video, and the perfect thumbnail for me with a topic is going to be different from the perfect one for you. And so for me with this, I really want to create that intrigue of, why is this the perfect thumbnail? Her title says the perfect thumbnail photo. So why is this the perfect thumbnail? If I click the video, I'm gonna learn why this is the perfect thumbnail. And the emotion that I'm creating, again, is the title and the thumbnail paired together to kind of tell the viewer that if you do what's in this video, you're gonna be happy, go lucky, and have the perfect thumbnail too. So that's basically it. I froze my ass off doing that this morning, so thanks for coming along with me. And like I said, I'll link to the winery that I took these pictures at below because it's actually really gorgeous, and I'd say is like stunning in spring, summer, and fall. Wintertime is just a little drab around here, you know, unless there's snow on the ground. But I'll link to it below. Hopefully this showed you what you could do. You don't have to go out somewhere to get these pictures. I could have done this same thing in my office. I could have done this same thing sitting in this chair. I could have done it outside. I could have done it on this wall. Like it doesn't matter what the scenario is or what the background is or what the thing is. It's just a matter of getting a thumbnail photo that pairs with the title to make people say, what in the world, and I want to feel like that. And that's what you want to do. All right, as always, bye.